Touchdown, Notre Dame! That's right. Welcome in, welcome back, everybody, to a undefeated and ninth-ranked Notre Dame football against Central Michigan / and let's break down the tailgate party preview game edition of the Always Irish Show. That's right. Welcome in, welcome back, folks, to a Central Michigan versus Notre Dame / and or Always Irish tailgate time preview edition of the Always Irish Show. As always, thank you for being here, folks. Listen, I'm in a good mood. Like, I'm not going to BS you guys. I'm in a good mood. We got a big party. We're setting up Saturday. We're going to meet all of our Irish people. Notre Dame's undefeated. They should beat this team, and then it turns into something way bigger the week after it. I'm in a good mood. It's rare that somebody like me can be in a position to be genuinely this optimistic when discussing Notre Dame football. So I'm rolling with it, all right? Welcome in. Thanks for being here. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny out as well. Notifications on. You know why. That way you will learn it every time a new episode drops. I know you don't want to miss it. Twitter. Search bar Always Irish Rat. Always Irish Inc. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only. Anywhere you want it, you can get it. The Cowlin lines. 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen about Notre Dame footballs. Instagram. Facebook. Always Irish Inc. is where you find me there. USA Today Fighting Irish. Try that again, buddy. USA Today Fighting Irish Wire. Every day you're alive. Type it in the computer and read all about Notre Dame football. It's beautiful. Here's the first thing. I posted on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Twitter. I posted a map of where the tailgate's at. Kitty corner from Touchdown Jesus. If you can't figure that out, that's on you, bro. Like, if you can't figure out where you are in comparison to Touchdown Jesus, like, I don't know how to help you, man. It's a pretty big marking point. We intentionally avoided the stadium lot. I need some space. Too crammed, too jammed. And I got all these people I want to meet. And I can't be spending half the hours before the game in line to take a leak. So I intentionally looked for a lot, not that lot, to be able to give us some more space, damn it. North lot's where it's going to be. I'm going to have a flag up. You're not going to be able to miss it. So I can't wait to see everybody. Be there, be square, all right? My goal is to have the best party in town. I don't do anything for second place. Not YouTube, not nothing. So if we're doing this, let's have the best damn tailgate party with the most fun before this game, all right? See you there. All right. Let's get into this week. And we talked about this on the Wednesday morning live stream show, and I went over some of this. I tell you guys all the time, I don't think Notre Dame. I feel my way through Notre Dame. It's just a very different thing, man. And I just have these weird vibes that come to me. It's almost like I'm those mediums who can feel spirits or whatever. I feel like when it comes to Notre Dame, I have a little extra intuition about things. And the vibes I'm getting right now, it's weird. It's a weird vibe this week. And the vibe is everybody that likes Notre Dame already ahead of themselves thinking about Ohio State. So they're not really thinking much about this week. And they're not saying that they're already talking about Ohio State on social media or their podcasts or whatever, because they know that's bad juju because we still got a game to win before it. That's what's weird. But that's exactly the vibe that's going on. I feel it. Central, but let's really just get that over with so we can start talking about Ohio State. That's the vibe. And I'm not seeing people getting out of themselves on Twitter. I think they know that's bad juju, but I know it's in their minds. And I feel it. And that's the vibe. Nobody wants to publicly get out of themselves, but emotionally, internally, everybody's getting out of themselves. Those are the emotions of college football. Those are the emotions of a big game like Notre Dame, undefeated Ohio State. If they're both in that position after these games, they each have games to play, damn it. I'm not going to sit here and act like Central's like, not, dude, that's how you lost to Marshall. That's how you lost Stanford. Is that overlooking teams? Now, here's the thing. Overlooking this Central game would be a big mistake and a missed opportunity for Notre Dame. Listen, fans, I mean, whatever. Fans can fan. You can look ahead to USC and Ohio State and not worry about this game. Like, you don't have to go out there and perform Saturday. You don't get to go out there and perform Saturday. So the fans can afford to let themselves dream and think ahead and all that. The team can't. They got things to accomplish this week. Again, earlier in the year when we were in the stretch of games before NC State, what were we saying? Winning the game isn't the only bar when you're playing these teams. You need to have a checklist of items that you want to work on to get better at and work on before Ohio State. All right? And so it would just be a big mistake for everybody to sleepwalk through Central because there's a lot of things I think Notre Dame could work on to put them in a better position to take out Ohio State the next week. But only if you take your work and craft very seriously building into this one. Notre Dame's got work to do. They're not a finished product. Here's one thing. There's a large part of me that believes Hartman's presence, even just the baseline of him on an off day, should be enough to stop a Marshall or Stanford situation. Like, I genuinely believe that. I just think that guy, even on an off day where he's playing like crap, is going to be efficient and effective enough to make you not lose to those teams. So I don't exactly have that same concern as far as like literally losing the game. My mind's more locked into how much juice can Notre Dame squeeze out of this game to help the ammunition stockpile for Ohio State. Like, that's where my mind is going, is how much can Notre Dame work on here to better position them for that battle without revealing a bunch of stuff to Ohio State, right? Like, there's a balance there. I mean, when I'm looking at this, all the computer-generated statistical models I saw, it was like Notre Dame 98.5%, 99% win likelihood percentage, 48-14 average score running the computer models 100 times for randomness or whatever. You know, so it's not just about like, can Notre Dame win this week? Every game has its own personality. Every game has its own personality and personality features. And last week against NC State, I entered it going, play, just get a win. I like tough environment, toughest test from Ohio State, just get a win and I'll see what we're dealing with. But like here, I want Notre Dame to work on some things. Have that staff identify on the offense and the defense and the special teams. Here is a checklist of things we want to get done in this game leading up to OSU. Get them done. Be winning by a lot. Stay healthy. Get the players you cannot afford to lose out of the game. And then John sits there and has a good afternoon in the sun. It's what I want to do. It's what this needs to be. And it's what Johnny needs to see. Okay? Here's number 2 with this game breakdown. Some of you are going to laugh at this. I'm dead ass serious, though. You got to play good in this game and win for my tailgate event, or I'm banning myself from campus. Could you imagine a scenario where John runs his mouth about having this tailgate and invites the whole world and it's a big deal and all this? I got a couple commercial promos that are coming out for it. Imagine me doing all that. Notre Dame lays a Marshall egg and ruins the whole vibe going into Ohio State, and John and all of his people are there. I'd never be able to come back. You don't come back from that. I would ban myself from campus. So you better take care of business to protect me over there this week. Damn it. Okay? I don't want to get blamed for you laying an egg, so you better take care of business so I don't have to ban myself from attending anymore. All right? So here's the thing. While this game is clearly a mismatch on the paper, Notre Dame has things to work on. Okay? This needs to be looked at as a big opportunity for Notre Dame to fine-tune. I'll give you an example. It's like, if I'm thinking of this, like we have a big margin that we're better than these guys by, and we should be able to handle them pretty easily. So that gives you some flexibility to be able to play around with things. And if they don't go absolutely right, you're not like, oh crap, we might lose the game. So this is a great opportunity. Here's one thing to me. I'm pushing the ball to these wide receivers all day with all the quarterbacks. That's one of the top things on my list. I think confidence is real. Confidence is key. There's no substitute for self-confidence. And when you do good things in a game leading up to a game, the last thing in your mind is, I balled out. And you go out there in the field and you got a little pep in your step. You might have a little extra burst off the snap. You might have a little burst when you're jumping up to get a ball. Okay? That's an example for me. I want that wide receiver group to have as much confidence as possible entering Ohio State, to go in there confident they're going to ball out and make all the plays Hartman's going to need them to make. I am feeding those guys all day. I am throwing the ball up to Tobias, and I am building that guy's confidence up. I don't care which of the quarterbacks it is. I want to build that up. That's one thing I'm looking for this week. Give those guys confidence entering this game. Okay? They need that boost. That's a developing group that still has a lot of growth to do. I want to see that confidence grow in them heading into this game. Feed those guys a lot. Here's something else, and this is kind of tricky. Line play is sometimes hard to judge against these type of teams that are coming from a talent and size and athletic deficit. Defensive line, it's like easier. Stop the run and then get after the quarterback. And if you do those things, we're going to feel good. And if you don't against Central, then we're not going to feel good entering Ohio State. Like defensive line, I get it, man. Get after the quarterback. Stop the run. Offensively, sometimes it's a little harder to judge. If they're operating the plays according to the exact way, or if they're just bullying guys because they outweigh them by under pounds. Right? Like sometimes it's hard to tell. Was the intended running lane there, or did our guy just blow that guy over and he doesn't even need good technique because we're outweighing them by under pounds? Whatever, like that kind of stuff. So the line plays a little harder to tell against this talent level, but there's certainly markers you're looking at. We got to see if JD could get back healthy out of that concussion protocol before Iowa State. Got a couple weeks to do it from the time it happened. We'll have to see how that goes. Are you going to have Maris spying this quarterback who likes to run, or what are we going to do there? Here's something else. And I want to see this, and I don't want to see this at the same time. I kind of want to see some new looks in the passing game, some wrinkles with all of our running backs. And a part of me doesn't want to see it because I want to think that Parker's holding some of that back for Iowa State. So I don't know where I fall on that. I kind of want to see it, but I don't know why. It's already in my brain against Ohio State. Those running backs in the passing game are going to be a part of the attack and a key part of it. And I know this is a Central show and not an Ohio State show. For some reason, it's being put into my brain to think that multiple of those running backs are going to be involved in the passing game heavily against Ohio State, and it's going to help loosen everything up. We're going to find out if I'm right or wrong, but for some reason, that is sticking in my brain as something that's going to be a big part of the game. So, this is a great chance to tune everything up and pump up what you can leading into what we all know is coming. These guys lost to Michigan State 31-7. Michigan State has a really legitimately tough defense. What's really interesting is they beat New Hampshire 45-22. All right, so you put up 45 points, but you also gave up 42 to New Hampshire. So, I mean, I got to ask, if you're giving up 42 to whatever New Hampshire's roster is, Notre Dame should have 72 or 82. If you're giving up 42 to that, like, work with me. Come on, I'm trying to be fair to them, but that's bad. Trying to be fair to them, but that's bad. Do I even need to say this? I need you to keep Sam Hartman clean. In this game, I don't need Sam Hartman running the ball at all. I don't even want to see him knocked on his ass. You got to keep Sam Hartman clean, baby. There is no reason Sam Hartman needs to get hit in this game or tuck and run. We don't need any of that this week. Keep that guy upright, damn it, and then get your work in. Work on what you want to work in and get him out. Here's something else. And I don't know if anybody realizes this, but their quarterback is a dual threat guy, Bert. And here's the other thing, Bert Emanuel Jr. I never trust a guy named Bert. That's on my list this week, damn it. I can't trust a 20-year-old kid or whatever named Bert. There's something going on there. And I know it's like a family name passed on. He's a junior. I don't care. I don't trust no 20-year-old named Bert. That's an old school name, and it's on my watch alert. I don't like it. It bothers me. It's throwing me off. I don't trust a guy named Bert, just like my other philosophy in life. Never trust anything without legs. You can't go wrong, people. Never trust anything without legs. Like, there's just certain life lessons that are in my mind. You never trust somebody with a name that doesn't match. Bert, the guy's like 20. I don't care if he inherited the name from his dad. Bert is not a young guy's name. I don't like it. It's throwing me off. I'm on alert. But he's a dual threat. That's maybe a little tricky. Maybe not. Notre Dame just defended a team like that and did a pretty good job. But the one thing maybe they could hope for is this kid makes plays with his legs. Like, you may have the undermanned, undersized team overall, but if you have a quarterback that can wheel and deal and do it on his own, maybe that's the best you could do. So I'm on alert for that. We're going to have Maris looking to pop this kid, or what are we doing? Make sure you have the contain there. So that quarterback's a little bit of a tricky dual threat. Parker is the name of their best receiver. Those are the two highlights that I could see. Nothing on defense, those two guys on offense. But if you let Bert run around, he could clown you. So I need Notre Dame to do a damn good job of protecting and making sure that doesn't happen. Okay? And here's maybe where I'm going to end on. And this is a little, I'm not used to saying this. I actually expect the energy in this building and at Notre Dame to be awesome this week. Genuinely awesome. Usually you look at a game like this where it's at in the schedule and it's a no-name, not a brand name I'm trying to be respectful. Not a no-name, but not a brand name helmet everybody's excited about. And you kind of expect sleepy South Bend, have your beer, and it's a sightseeing tour, but it ain't really about the game and there ain't much juice. I think this is going to be different. I think Notre Dame fans are getting bought in. I think they feel the emotional ramp up to Iowa State, and they know that this day is going to be the last piece of that puzzle. And I think everybody's going to be excited to be there and be a part of it. And I like that. And I'm excited to be there and be a part of it. So I actually think the vibe's going to be pretty good because I think people are excited and they want to see Notre Dame finish up building this bridge to Iowa State. We're undefeated. Most points we've scored this early since the 1930s. You have a real-world quarterback for once in my airline's existence. All of that stuff's working for Notre Dame now. And it's a good thing to see. So I really expect the vibe to be good even against this opponent because of what this is all building to. And I'm excited to be there. So that's what I'm going to say about this one, you guys. Everybody, you're invited to the tailgate. Be there, be square. bring your friends, bring your family, bring the trolls, whatever you want to do. I don't care. I just want to have a good time with my people. So Notre Dame, have a checklist of things to accomplish. Get it done early. Stay healthy, and then get out of this game. And then the real action of the season starts. So that's the track we're on, everybody. Hope to see you at the tailgate.